Hello, this is music producer and audio engineer John Krause, and I have a mad obsession for making studio recordings. I love mixing, producing, composing, adding guitar tracks, or just sipping coffee while you do most of the work. I'd love to help you make a record, and I don't usually bite. You can find me online at kraussmusic.com. That's KRAUSSMUSIC.com, or on Facebook at John Krause Music. And remember, as the late great Billy Shakespeare once said, if music be the food of love, play on.
Light from the clock can read my mind.
Hi, this is John Krause, and you're listening to The Paige Roberts Show on Intercomm Radio Network.
Hey, this is Steve Coughlin from Steve Coughlin with Probable Cause. We are loyal listeners and proud sponsors of The Paige Roberts Show. Check it out.
Remember the men and women that put their lives on the line, veterans that fought and lived through those wars. Every soldier has a story, alive like no other. Veterans that fought for me and you under the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, Lord me down, draped in the red, white, and blue. From the trenches of World War I, crossed the Rhine in World War II, Normandy beaches of Omaha, the cold Korean War, they have long forgotten, to the hot Saigon, rice paddies of Vietnam. She was raised at Hiroshima, on the beaches in those high seas. She flew at Pearl and Midway, planes that flew the sky, on the ships of those high seas, to the mountains of Afghanistan, the desert of Iraq, the Black Hawk Down, under the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, Lord me down, draped in the red, white, and blue. When they play those taps and shoot those guns that salute the 21, I'll go down draped in the red, white, and lay me down, down, draped in the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, roll me down, draped in the red, white, and blue.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paige Roberts Show. It is Wednesday, December. No, I'm stuck on December, but it is February. Last time I checked, February 27th, 2019. Let's do some. I have a show at Vegas Studios, March the 10th with Scarlet Stitch. That will be a live show, and you will be able to see us on Facebook. And that will be on Vegas Studios Facebook page. So, in order to see that, you will have had to like their page. So, yeah, we're getting busy over there, too. So we appreciate it, Clay Henson, for booking us over at his studio. Now, we had a great time last time talking to Steve Coffin and with Probable Cause, and they did an hour set. So, yeah, that was pretty cool, too. I wanted, before I get into my featured artist tonight, let's give out our call-in number, and it's 646-668-8941. I know we have quite a few people listening out there, and we appreciate it. Now, before I get into my show, I thought it would be kind of cool to start doing not really a full topic base, but maybe just something that'll make you go, right? And I know this week, I know it's Wednesday, but we have been talking a lot about vinyl records, and how vinyl records have really made a huge comeback in the past few years. And I was reading off of a radio website, and that is KISS 100.5. They are out of Canada. And they had an article which gave a lot of the details on vinyl, and it said that last year an estimated of 16 million vinyl records were sold. Isn't that awesome? Wow. And it's true, just fads always come back, right? But I thought that would be something kind of cool that'll get y'all thinking, and maybe talk about at a later time, or we can talk about it out there on Facebook. But let's give a shout out to Gary Thomas. I know he's been sharing, and he helps out a lot with the Paige Roberts Show. And this is a veteran-based radio show. We've had quite a few of our veterans coming on and sharing their stories and things. And, I think if we can give back something to them, it's awesome. So I think they deserve it. So without further ado, let's bring on my special guest for tonight, singer-songwriter Elvis Carden. Hey, Elvis, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you there, Paige. It's an honor to be on your show and talking about veterans and talking about music in general and shows that we're doing. And it's nice that we have someone like you to pass on this information and be able to share it with the world.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, Elvis. Elvis has been around the world and back a time or two, I think, there, Elvis, right?
Yeah, I think so. The music career will take you in a lot of different directions and a lot of many places and a lot of many people. So
that's right. Mm-hmm.
It's a love of music.
It is, and I think that's what keeps it going a lot of times.
Well, being a Vietnam vet and serving in 1st Infantry Division at Like A in Vietnam in 65 and 66, and I was 17 when I was there, so you can imagine that episode, but coming back and dealing with all the veterans issues, the VA issues, and all the things that vets go through in the veterans family. And so I've always used my music and patriotic. Of course, my first record was Vietnam Blues and Loving a Soldier in '67, and ever since that time, I've been involved with patriotic music and patriotic. Actually, trying to do things to help other veterans. For a lot of veterans learn from veterans.
Well, I know that you were doing something to help the homeless as well. Do you want to talk? But before we do that, Elvis, let's go back a little bit, and why don't we start? This is where I usually start at, and I always tell my guests that I want you to tell our audience a little bit about yourself. So why don't we start there, and you can go however far back you like and work your way up to your music. So,
yeah. A lot of people said I needed to write a book, and I said, which book and which chapter? I said, if you listen to my music, it'll probably tell you more about me than I can actually tell you.
Yes.
All I know is you go from the life that you were here, and then you go in the Army, and you end up serving the country along with a million other folks. And then you come back and you try to live the world that you live where you're at. And that world can be quite challenging. But I've always expressed all that in music, mainly. And I grew up down here in Palmetto, Georgia, and there's a rural area of Atlanta. Now it's kind of well spread out. Nevertheless, the tragedies and the things that happens in your life, they always say that makes you best songwriters. And so I just have always done that. They can put labels on, but I've always done patriotic and country and gospel. So that's what I kind of stay at. My main heart is in veterans and veterans organizations and helping veterans.
Awesome. Now, I know you spend a lot of time in Nashville. I'm sure most people know who Dean Holden is, pretty much, right?
Yes. I met quite a few people along the way. I mean, you're talking about Gary Thomas, Unknown Soldiers. I met him in Nashville, and we shared a few places and a few stories and situations. And J.K. Coltrane and Code Records and my Lawson. All just great people you meet over the years, and I recorded a lot with Keith Bradford, Kitty Will's bass player, KMA Records for a long time. And so being a songwriter, and you try to put all this stuff together, and every once in a while you come up with you ask him for a good, and he gives you a good one.
Well, you know what, Elvis? I say that religiously all the time, and I'm all the time posted. You do good, good comes back. You do bad, and you get what you put into it, right?
Exactly, and of course you have bobbles. I've had songs just be written and take 2 years later to get them recorded. I've got a lot of songs that are still not recorded. And so trying to balance that and draw the line which one you're going to record and when it's possible for you to get to Nashville to record them, that's another thing. So and of course all people, it's musicians and writers and singers, we all got a story, and we all got a life that we live in this business. And like Lay Me Down, all soldiers got a story. And so that's what you kind of go by. And to me, the good Lord gives it to me, and I'm just an instrument to write it down and try to make it reality.
Well, you seem to be doing pretty good so far, Elvis. And you've been writing how long?
Lord, I've been writing since I could print, but I've been playing the guitar since I was 9, and in fact, my mother got mad at me because I traded my bicycle for one. And well, my father played, but he played for a lot of the wrong reasons. And but all that changed. But it comes through the family, and it kind of inherited it. And when I got back from Vietnam, I came home actually on leave. I wrote "Love and a Soldier" song, which actually looked more like a book. And so I had cut it down, kept cutting it down, so I got it to a song size it could go on a 45. And I've actually wanted somebody else to record it. And so I was home on a medical leave. I was getting pieces of punches stick out of my left foot in Aberdeen. And I came home on medical leave, and they told me, well, you got to have 2 songs for a 45. And I said, well, I ain't got 2 songs. They said, well, you need to go write one. So I went home and talked to my dad. He had a song called National Biscuit Blues. And that's where the theme came from, to make Vietnam Blues. So I wrote Vietnam Blues in about 45 minutes. And actually, the first recording of it, I used a wash tub for the drums. So that's kind of a long story about that went. But nevertheless, Pete Drake ended up playing the guitar on it. Floyd Kramer was around at the time. And that was Perfection Sound with Tom Hodges. And so I recorded it, and when it went out, when I got back to Maryland, I ended up being on front page of Stars and Stripes and all that kind of stuff. And next thing I know, Vietnam Blues is #1. So the world changed from that point.
Right. And that song we played in the beginning was #1 46 times. So you're doing something right there, Elvis.
Well, I've been acting. I said, look, one of my uncles was in World War II. He was at Ryan. And my other uncle, he was in Mortar Battalion in Korea. And my other brother that got drafted, when I got back from Vietnam, he got drafted, and he was in the Tech. And which just passed away now. But anyway, I wanted to write a song about the American flag and all the soldiers that fight under the flag, all the military personnel. And so I started making with the song, Lay Me Down, and next thing I know, he pretty much gave me all the parts. And so the song really covers from World War I already now, really. And so it's touched a lot of people, and I'm still touching a lot of people with the song, and I'm trying to do a lot more with it. I did do the Pearl Harbor dedication out in Branson, back on Veterans Day, and I also done Vet Week out there for the vets. And I know we got a big show coming up down in Port Charles, Florida. TJ and Gary and all of us going down there, and that's Kathleen.
Great.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's going to be a great show with all that's involved in it. And I'm looking forward to it because that's what I like to do. I like to perform for vets, help vets, pass information to vets that they don't have.
Right. Well, we hope that goes over well. I know JK is all the time doing things like that and trying to get things together to help our veterans. So, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's a vet. I've done interviews with him before, and I met with him, and we've been on some shows together. We done Vet Fest together a year before, and I done Vet Fest when I got back from Branson up in Franklin this past year. With Fake Baldwin that runs that. And, but all that pertains, and I like associate myself with, especially artists that has the same thoughts about helping veterans and homeless vets, and I said, I work with the Veterans Administration for the VA accountability and the choice program. All that's got straightened out now. And I was involved with it for the last 2 years.
Right.
And so we're moving along. I've got some other songs I want to record. In fact, I got one song I don't know exactly when I'll get back to Nashville to record it, because I got these shows and I got a lot of appointments in March. But I got a song that I wrote when I came back from L.A., because talking about Lay Me Down Draped in Red, White, and Blue. It won an award in Indie Music Channel in L.A. That's Christopher Irwin. And it won another award for Song Salute in America and Military at the Josie Music Award in 2017. And like I said, it broke all records as far as one of the chart ratings with Jerry Mack, and which was one of the promoters on the song. And it also went out on ERG this past November, and so it's pretty much across the country. And so I'm looking forward to get back to Nashville, because this other song was called Lord Have Mercy on a Homeless Vet Man. That's the name of it. It's got a little bit more different twist to it than my normal country.
Awesome. Well, I do think that is one of our biggest issues, I think, with our veterans, is our homeless veterans. I wouldn't think there wouldn't be any state that didn't have a homeless veteran in it. So,
well, when I was out in Branson working with Bob Mundy, he owns Ozark Jubilee, real gospel person. He's not a vet, but he supports vets and everything in it. And Missouri really supports their vets. And was working on a lot of things for the weather hits, and out there everything shuts down to March, in March. But I visited a homeless vet center there twice while I was there. And me and Bob was discussing things, because he knows a lot of people, and I said, if somebody donates some land, and he was talking about emptying the homeless vets, and I said, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get involved in doing that. And I was a builder for 10 years, so I know all that is, but they're going to use these tiny houses, and I think St. Louis has already done that. Somebody else has took it up, and that's fine with me. I'm just glad that somebody's taking care of them and helping them. But I was going to take these empty containers and transform them into more or less like a nice motel. And
right.
That way they each have a container, and they can do whatever they want. And because you can put the containers in a whole lot easier and less money than you can a tiny home.
Right. Well, how do we get here, Elvis? I mean, this shouldn't be happening. There shouldn't be anyone who has fought for us that shouldn't have a place to stay. I mean, that's just...
Well, I tell you what, and a lot of people, they use PTSD now. We've came a long way. So people understand that shell shock at the beginning or whatever. But the thing of it is, there's no programs out there. There's no, I know there's a lot of organizations now, even if vets or whatever, or got more outreach to try to help the situation than they ever have before. And because we kind of like, I guess we kind of separated from the society, because we're the soldiers of the airmen, anybody from the military has had to fight a war. They come back, it's like a separate entity of the United States. We just, we're classified, that's why they call us the brothers from none, because society didn't accept us, more or less, so we was on our own, and the only way we could do is stay together ourselves. And the VA don't send you a paper and say, we owe you this, owe you that. No, it's a battle from day one, and which it shouldn't be. And the transformation out of military life and the civilian life, and then having to deal with the VA center. And so a lot of things could be done, because there's no expectancy in life of what you might have everything today and lose it all tomorrow. And you don't know how many circumstances you're going to go through because of war or whatever. So it puts a lot of veterans in a bad situation. And it really puts their families in a bad situation because they don't understand it either. So,
right.
Trying to bridge that gap, and most vets don't talk about nothing like that anyway, listen to another vet. As far as the regular society, I probably get on to more about it with other vets on me because I talk more about it than any of them. But
right, but
I'm
you know what? Maybe now it's time that y'all do pull together, which is, of course, that's what y'all are doing, and getting help for y'all. Yeah.
Well, the help now, I'm 100% service connected, and I fought years to get that 100%. It ain't like they gave it to me when I came back. But in trying to go through that process, and other vets don't know that process, but I work with some officials and stuff in Washington and all this work on these projects. The only thing I'm trying to get done now, because music's what I use as an avenue to do that, and lay me down as far as I'm concerned, it should be, I think everybody in the world ought to be able to hear it. And I'm trying to put together some things that nonprofit organizations in order to raise the money and get donations to carry this mission on that I started back at Christmas. And it's called, one of my mottos, don't give a vet a hand out, give a vet a hand up. And the way to do that is like a homeless vet sitting in the woods, well, he can't do nothing. He can't get a job. And and you got to deal with the VA too. So we all basically on our own, and when we're usually in the military, we all together. So we kind of scatter.
PTSD, you know, I know that it's a barrier in itself, right?
Right.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a real thing. It's not a thing you put over on the side and, okay, that's gone that day, and they ain't ever coming back. That's living in a fantasy world. No, it's very real, and it takes years of dealing with it and recognizing it, getting the right medicine. It's a lot of combinations there. And the best thing, if a vet out here is a homeless vet, the reason I can understand I was a homeless vet twice. I was a builder. I made $375,000 a year. I never thought I'd be in a shack in the woods. Even though I came out of the woods, I've lived in the woods all a lot. But I never would have thought I went that low, but I didn't know anything about the stock market and all this kind of stuff, the politics world. And so when Reagan went in office and the interest went to 22%, all the builders went under. And I didn't know the file bankruptcy. We didn't believe in it. So I lost everything, paid so much on the dollar. Well, then go through a bad divorce, and then you got 3 kids. And next thing you know, 6 months later, you got to go through a custody battle with them because the other party's not doing what they should be doing. So a lot of people say, in fact, I had this asked to me in Illinois when I was doing the interview up there for Internet Shell TV back last year. And he asked me, he said, how come it took you so long between this hit and this hit? And I said, well, I had a lot of tragedies in my life. 3 houses burned down with my mother, and 3 divorces, and dealing with the VA, and dealing with PTSD, and a lot of things. And still trying. My avenue was out was music. Music's what gave me the break. I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for the Lord and music, I wouldn't be here. But I have a reason to be here. I was in Church of God and all that, but I have a reason to be here. Is in order to be a spokesman and do what I can to bring awareness for veterans. And even though the Vietnam vets, we've lost a lot of World War II vets that died off, well, so is a lot of Vietnam vets dying off too because of Agent Orange. And we're dealing with our children's problems from Agent Orange. So the battle goes on. It's just, different. It's a war, but it's different battles.
One thing for another, right.
So they need all the help. And so I try to bring awareness to that on every interview I do, the music I do, and the people I meet. And I try, when I find other people trying to do the same thing I'm doing, we try to get together to make things happen. And you can complain all day. That's a local one.
We like to help any way we can. I mean, I know I'm on radio platform, but yeah, you know, anytime we can help out, we are here.
What I'm trying to do now is it's like Gary Thomas, me and him talked about a lot of things, and of course he knows a lot of people. And I was up there. I got a song called "We Cried Together at the Wall," and it was big, and I recorded in '99, 2000. And but I've done the 20th and 25th anniversary at the Wall in D.C. with that song, and for Jan Scruggs, which started the Wall, which is retired now. And but I travel across the country with the traveling Wall, and done a lot of them things, and went through a lot of reunions, and so. And then try to get back to country. In fact, my wife's a school bus driver for 12 years. There's a song on that album called School Bus Driver. But she said, we should have never got away from the veterans and trying to do country. Well, when you kind of split up doing both, it's kind of like my gospel. And I tell her, I said, I can't do both circuits. You can't do a gospel circuit and country circuit. You got to do one or the other.
Right.
And even on the veteran circuit, I can get by with a lot of that, because us veterans can understand the patriotic country and also the gospel.
Yeah. Well, why don't we play I Have Life Out There? Do you want to talk about that song, and then we'll play it?
Yeah, Life Out There somewhere. And this is a strange twist with this one. Back in 10, my mother passed away, and we've been in a war for 16 years fighting over property and estate for my father. And all of a sudden one week, well, our dogs died of cancer. And then my youngest brother had an accident and off a step ladder, and he died. Right before Christmas. And then my mother came down with all kinds of stuff. She had, this, that, and that. She was 87. But we took care of her for 3 years at another home I had set up for that. And that one week, like I said, we had a dog named Floppy, died with cancer. My mother died that week, and then my kid's mother died that week. So after all that was done, I went to Nashville. I was trying to contact people in Nashville. I knew about recording. And I had to be in Nashville. That was 2010 when the flood hit. And I had to be there because Tim McGraw and his band was going to be in town. And Denny, his lead player, was going to be on the session. And also Danny, Blake Shelton's drummer, was going to be in town, and he was going to be on the session, so I had to be there. So we get there, the motel's on the water. Luckily, the studio was down Avenue up there in the upper end on the high end. So anyhow, we're going there. But Life Out There Somewhere is basically telling when you lose your mother, your brother, your dog, and all, everyone, life, it ought to be lives out there somewhere, better than this, when you just get bombarded. And I'm not the only one. It's a story about all kind of people having the same kind of situations that loses a loved one or unexpected death or whatever. So it kind of gives you kind of a break of what you be thinking and doing. And I've done a lot of that since the song. I've been to L.A. and I've been to Long Beach and down the other way and fixing to go back to Florida now. So the song would fit good, especially all the bad weather everybody has, because it kind of puts you in a good mood.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's play that and hold on the line, and we'll come right back.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
look like hell, smell like smoke, cigarettes, beer and marijuana. After losing my brother, my dog, and my mama, I should be raising some hell somewhere on the beach down in the Bahamas. There's got to be some love out there somewhere. I should do like Kenny, grab a chair at the beach under a palm tree in Daytona. Like Jim McGraw, live like I'm a dying. There's got to be some life out there somewhere. There's got to be some life out there somewhere. There's people out of work, foreclosures down the street, bad news and politics on my TV. I can see the sun go down, the Kings all around, with Jimmy Buffett down in Margaritaville. Yeah, look like hell, smell like smoke, cigarettes and beer and marijuana. Had to bury my brother, my dog, and my mama. I should be having some fun out in the sun on the beach in California. There's got to be some life out there somewhere. There's got to be some life out there somewhere. There's got to be some life out there somewhere. This for you, Mama.
You are listening to the Paige Roberts Show on Intercomm Radio Network. We are broadcasting live off of Blog Talk Radio. Our guest calling number is 646-668-8941. Tonight I have been talking to Vietnam vet Elvis Carden. We've been talking a little bit about everything. Y'all want to stay close to the end of the show because I know we're going to have two more people probably calling in, and that's going to be Gary Thomas and Kathleen Craig. They're going to talk a little bit about the show that's happening on March the 30th. So, yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be a busy evening. So, Elvis, I'm glad that you have started, doing your music and helping where you can, where our veterans are concerned, and I know that is one of our main issues is the homelessness. So I hope that changes. But it shouldn't have taken our state this long to help our veterans, and I just don't get it. That kind of aggravates me. But and years later, y'all going to bump it up and yeah.
It's just it's a lot to do with Congress. It's got a lot to do with politics, and you don't realize that till you get older and you listen to the politics that's going on, and some of the views that some of the American people's got now is kind of awkward, and but we got to keep our voice out there. All American people need to keep their voice out there, which direction they want this country to go. If we didn't have nobody out there fighting right now protecting, we'd be up the creek. And and you won't. It's like one of the discussions I had with the VA administrator here in Atlanta, which I've been dealing with for quite a while. And I said, you know what, before y'all enlist somebody, won't you take them by the VA center for the day? He said, well, we didn't have nobody join. I said, well, isn't that kind of awkward? We should have the best VA facility, if you're going to have a VA facility, in the world. And we are to have veterans bragging on the veterans system other than putting it down because all the problems it's inherited. The opium problem, now they won't give you no pain medication because they've got this war on the opium. And well, guess who's the first one to cut that? The VA. So the vets don't get they don't get the pain medicine, they don't get the nerve pills, they don't get nothing. So they just have to depend on what they can do.
But guess who created the epidemic? Do we want to get started there? Hello? Come back? You know?
Well, it's I guess we just, of course, I was in the Tuskegee VA experiment in Alabama, so I know what that was in the 90s. And I know how awful it was. And we was more or less guinea pigs. And it shouldn't have been, and I don't know how much that is that goes across the country, but that was a very bad experience. And so I try to complain. I found out a long time ago complaining on the local level don't matter because the people on the local level, they're just doing their job at what they're told.
Right.
And so I went to Washington. I've written the president. I've been Johnny Eisen. I've been all these people. And I stay the heat on it all the time about the veterans issue. I'm a life member of VBA, Vietnam Vets of America, Life First Infantry. And I don't use this much, but I'm not a colonel in Georgia, but I'm a colonel in Tennessee. It was granted me in October '99 by Don Sinkwick as a colonel, and that's probably one of the biggest awards I've got. And I was talking to Kerry Thomas about that, and he didn't know that, but he's one also. And I said, well, I didn't use it to now, but we need all the clout we can to bring all this attention to the situation we got going on with our veterans across this country. There shouldn't be no such thing as a homeless vet. That'd be like...
Or a doctor's one. But you have a good idea. Why don't they start out with people signing up in the VA instead of that's pre-post, pre instead of post? I don't get it.
Well, I joined the Army too, like a lot of people did. I didn't know nothing about no war. I didn't get concerned about Vietnam. I joined because I had a quick in the 10th grade to take care of the kids at home while my mother's in Grady Hospital with a 3-month operation. And when she got better, then she said, well, you go to what you need to do now. So the same year, I actually wanted to be in the Air Force. I had 100 hours flying time, and time I was 16. And so I didn't get that. I ended up in this other route and joining the Army. And but a lot of look at the people now that go join the service, for their education and for their ability.
Right.
So they don't expect no war either. But that's a duty you square under the Constitution, and I don't understand. Somehow or another, we out of sync in Washington with Congress with the Constitution opposed to the rest of the country, or the rest of the country is out of sync with the Constitution. But they talk about Trump. Well, he's commander in chief. He's over all the military. We just take orders. We're not the commander in chief. We're not the general. And so it don't matter if it's a war or what. That's one of the oaths you take when you go into service. But the one thing, and us vets don't do, but we should have already did it when we started encountering all these situations with the VA. And I've even told them that, too, on some of my heated moments, that we signed a contract when we went in the service. We took an oath. to defend this country, domestic and foreign. So, but y'all in turn said these things that y'all was going to do for us. But we fulfilled our obligation to contract, but you did not.
And
That's the
still
problem.
not. Right?
Yeah, and they still are not honoring the contract that we're supposed to have number one grade medical, best in the country.
Well,
that's one of the contracts.
That should be a breach. That should be a breach
That
of
is
contract, right?
We also supposed to have due process, which if you call 16 years going from 80% to 100 is due process. I don't think that's the way it works. But anyhow, I said, we all should have went together, and of course, the reason we don't, because we took an oath and went and fought for the country, and we know what all it is about having freedom of this country and what we fought to protect it and the spread of communism. And the thing of it is, trying to sue your own country and your own government is kind of awkward. But if we'd filed a class action lawsuit, this would have been solved a long time ago. Because they can steal from Social Security and do everything they want to do. And if you figure all the vets that didn't get paid for the Agent Orange or whatever in the past, how much money they save. If they took that money and the way they talk about millions and billions up there, it blows my mind. But they should have just paid us off. That way we wouldn't have lost all these years.
That's right. But all that back time, if you did it now, I think it ought to go all the way back.
Well, that was one of the things to me. I thought, like I said, all these years, and they finally made me 100% when I got my last wife. I was so disgusted with the VA. I was tired of fighting. And when I found out, because you only got a year to repeal your case and all this kind of stuff. So I've been through appeals for 16 years. I think I got tired of it. But as soon as I let that go, and then we went ahead and still put in for it, when they found out they didn't owe me, have to pay me the $400,000 back pay they owed me, they made me 100%.
Of course.
But that's actually what they owed me personally. So it's hardest to keep faith. It's kind of like I got the words in Homeless Vet Man, is that there's no honor of being a homeless vet. There's no honor in these things that's going on. So you're asking the vet that's honored to be dishonored. Is basically what you're doing.
That's horrible.
And it's all, and that's the mental twist. That's the mental twist that gets all of us. And of course, Vietnam Vet Radio Ministry out of Chelsea, Oklahoma. The reason I mention it, because it is a ministry for Vietnam vets, and it's VietnamVet.org, VietnamVetRadio.org. Well, Benny Blunt's a 3-tour Vietnam vet. His wife, Delight, sings the gospel. And he started this as a ministry about 4 years ago. And now we're up to probably 100,000 people worldwide. But we have church on Sundays, we have chapel, and we have a lot of group that goes on and chats all the time. And we talk to one another across this country about the different VAs, how different states treat their vets different than other states. Even when they pass a law in Washington, they don't exercise it in every state, which they should do. It should have been mandatory straight across the board.
But a lot of people may not know about it.
They don't, because there's nobody to tell them. You think Congress is going to get up there and say, hey, we owe you something? Or you think they're going to say, look, this state's not doing this and this state's not doing it. Just like we got a hotline to the VA in Washington since Trump been off. I have 5 complaints of the VA. And then as soon as they changed this new VA director and they changed the choice program, it's still a choice, but it goes from that vet now to it's called another name anyway. How the medical approved when you can't get to the VA, you use a private doctor. And there's a lot of stuff to that. One state
that's
will be
another
doing
whole
something, the other
that's
state
another whole struggle, Elvis. I could talk about many things that's happened in the VA that y'all might not want to hear.
Well,
and
the thing of it is,
the Atlanta VA at that.
Yeah, Atlanta VA is. So I was at Claremont in the '80s when I was trying to redo my appeal, and these things were going on awful bad there in the '86, and that's how I hooked up with Senator Nunn and ended up working with him undercover for the VA in Tuskegee. That's how I got busted, and I was working with him undercover for 2 years. Me and 4 others, and but a lot of the VA got changed during that administration. But see, every time you have administration change, the VA changes. It don't stay the same because Congress dictates what it can do, and what they can do and what they can't do. And a lot of it now they're treating us by administration instead of by the doctor. That's what a lot of the problems is.
Well.
So, but anyhow, bringing these and talking about it where other people can hear about it, it lets other people know that these issues are going on, and they need to keep, as I say, poker through the fire when it comes to these issues, because we should have the best VA facility in the world, and we don't. And the reason we don't really want the VA system to be gone, because that's veterans' situation where we can talk and talk the same lingo, basically.
Right.
And even though we can go to private doctor.
That's where most of our wounded veterans go. Right.
Exactly. And a lot of times we don't have money. If we're in between, if you're not 100%, I mean, you got a battle on your hand. I mean, I was at 80% for years, and there's a battle. There's a big difference in your funding and what you can do, what you can't do. And so when I tell people, if I catch this kind of problem at 100%, can you imagine what a person at 50% or 10% or whatever percent it is catching? So it's just so many things. It's such a big bureaucracy of the VA system, anyhow, as big as the Navy. So you just got to, it's ever who's in charge and the help you got. And if you got people there that really care. And I told people before, and they said they had a staffing problem. And I said, well, we know you got a staffing problem, all right. But here's the thing. You know how many disabled vets you could put in that staffing problem? We wouldn't have a problem.
No, that's true. Yeah.
You know, all them positions they do and sitting on the young and doing paperwork and computer work and answering the phone, any handicapped vet can do that. In a wheelchair.
Well, and you have doctors too that are veterans, so you know.
You know, and if you more reason Carrollton VA is good, it's got mostly but military doctors.
Right.
My dentist is a Korean vet, you know, and they're military. If they ain't been in combat, they're still military people. They understand the military. They understand us vets. That's what makes it run so good. And you also need representative in Carrollton. You always, when you go in there, you got either First American Legion, VFW sitting there to answer questions or helping you with anything. And to my opinion, they ought to be one in every one of them. And the TAV is so political, you know, it's another story. So I'm a life member of DAV too, but that's not what got my service connection through, because so much patriotic political stuff involved. In fact, the doctor told me, he said, whatever you had a problem at 80%, because you was out here helping veterans, and they call you involved in veterans affairs. Penalized me for helping vets, basically.
That's horrible too. That's all horrible. Well, why don't we play another song, Elvis? Let's play.
That's a good thing, because that's, you know, that's a good thing. I wrote this song. It's talking about Life Out There Somewhere. It won an award last year at Indie Music Channel also. And but I had one nominated this past year at the Josie Music Award called Mama's Got It Made Working in Heaven. And I wrote it out here at the Garden like summer, and only respected, we just pass it through on this earth, and we gauge about how we act on this earth and what we do. And so I was looking at a spiritual moment of what she would be doing. People say, well, they just ain't sitting up there with a harp in their hand. They're doing the same thing they're doing down here, just in a different way. They're watching over us.
Right.
And I said, it's angels. And I said, a lot of people don't understand the angels. I said, angels are there. I said, they said, well, how you know it's an angel? I said, well, one of my sisters, twin sisters, not my twin, but my other girl, sister's twin, she died at 4 in a fire. And I said, you know what? If she didn't go to heaven, then there's no point in me trying to get there. And I said, but I know she did. And here's the thing. She's my angel.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones you know it went to heaven is an angel watching over you.
That's it.
That's her job. And so a lot of people don't just put it down with layman terms where people can understand it. And I said, well, it's real simple. That song came out a long time ago, Jesus Loves You. And it's a simple song, but it's the truth. Yes, Jesus loves you. That's about where it is.
Awesome. Well, yes. We'll talk about, let's play Raining in Nashville. You want to talk about that song, and then we'll come back. And we have our two people on the line, too, that's going to come on and talk with you. So,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great.
Now, do you want to talk about Raining in Nashville?
Yeah, Raining in Nashville. In fact, when I was recording up there, I had this song called Raining. I was playing on recording. Well, I sat down and rewrote the song in the studio, Raining in Nashville, about what was going on. And that's how that song came about.
Awesome. Well, hold on the line, and we'll come right back. And I know we have Kathleen Craig on the line, and we have Gary Thomas on the line. So hold on, and we'll play this, and we'll come right back.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Storms went by, I'm still alive. There's snow in Colorado, it's raining in Nashville, where I am tonight. Storms went by, I'm still alive. It's raining in Chicago, but it's raining like hell where I am tonight. Sun goes down, the sun comes up. I still live out of my pickup truck. Wherever I go, got you on my mind. Every time I pray, you'll be with me tonight. Storms went by, I'm still alive. It's raining in Georgia, and it's raining like hell where I am. Storms went by, I'm still alive. There's snow in Colorado, it's raining in Nashville, where I am tonight. Storms went by, I'm still There's a flood of tears where I am tonight.
You are listening to the Paige Roberts Show on Intercomm Radio Network. We're broadcasting live off of Blog Talk Radio. Our call-in number is 646-668-8941. Tonight I have been talking to Vietnam vet and Nashville recording our artist, Elvis Carden. So, Elvis, I know it's a long road to hoe, but if y'all ever need anything from us on the radio, would you let us know?
Yes, I will. And like I said, anybody can check me out. I try to keep stuff posted that's going on with my website, www.elviscarden.com. And, of course, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, all of social media. And I keep everybody abreast of where I'm going to be, what I'm working on, and posting pictures. And I know this is, I'll be excited down in Florida to perform there. And especially lay me down draped in red, white, and blue song.
Awesome. Well, we'll put that over on our website as well. We are thePaigeRobertsShow.net. I'm trying to get my MP3s uploaded over there. Yeah. Well, keep us in the loop and keep us posted. Hold on the line because we'll bring on next Kathleen Craig and Gary Thomas. And there y'all
Okay.
can talk about that show on March the 30th. But yeah, like I said, if you ever need the radio for anything, all you have to do is ask.
Well, we'll do it. And like I said, when I get through there, I think I got some shows to do in Orlando as well. And of course, I always try to be back at the Wall in D.C. Memorial Weekend. Of course, I may have to be in Branson. I'm not sure. And because this is a welcome home show that's going on in Florida, but it's also, I think I've started up the first of this year, a welcome home tour that I'm on, basically. And I have a lot of things involved in that. But I'm trying to get enough around. I think we got plenty of canisters. They're all over the place. And I'm sure if each vet, I think the people would feel good if they was involved in it too. If you emptied the vet shelters out and you put them on a spot of land out here with a container and say it's yours, and all you got to do is build that veterans community there. They know what to do from there.
That would be awesome. Well, I do have on the line Kathleen Craig and Gary Thomas. Hey, all, and welcome to the show. I know we're going to talk about the show for March the 30th, so I don't know which one. I know Kathleen is over that partly. So, Kathleen, do you want to go first and tell who you are and
yes,
what you do?
Yes, hello, everybody. Hi, how are you,
Good evening,
Paige?
Kathleen.
Hi, Elvis, how are you?
Doing right, pretty well.
Great. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform up in Florida here, Port Charlotte. It's beautiful out here, and we welcome all the vets, and hopefully we have a huge concert going on, and welcome home Vietnam vets.
Yeah, I've got a lot of vet friends that lives down there. In fact, I got a couple from Fort Myers that be down there at the show too, and a lot of others that know more about it as it get closer.
That's awesome.
And Kathleen's been trying to get me down for a long time. And I'm glad this came up. We can finally do what we was trying to do. And it just things happen in God's time, and that's the way I look at it. But it's going to be absolutely a good show, and it's going to do a lot for vets. And I'm glad.
And I'm looking forward to it. I just can't wait. It's going to be super exciting, mega artist, and it's just going to be outstanding to see all the vets out there.
Well, that shows that y'all are here for a reason, Kathleen, and y'all that are listening. So there's a purpose in it.
Yes, it is. And I am dedicating this for my brother who had passed away back in October. He was a chief warrant officer for the Army, and he lived his Army and his men. And so this is my dedication. You know, this is what I do for the veterans. So I'm excited.
Well, a bit dedication too, Kathleen. Yeah. Like I was telling earlier, my brother was in the tech, and he passed away as a PA about 4 years ago. Oh. But I've got a lot of vets that's passed on, and a lot of soldiers we lost in Nam. The way I look at it, that God's got a special place for his soldiers. It's that simple.
Yes, he does.
And so I don't look at it. I look at it as a duty we had to do here and an honor to do here. And we lived our life to do the best we can. And then when we step from this world to the spiritual world, we have no regrets. We just change it from one, I would say, the United States flag to God's cross. His world.
Yes, I agree.
And so we transform out these bodies here to a spiritual body. And so we're still fighting a war. I tell people all the time, especially in these latter days we're in, that it's good versus evil, and God versus devil is basically what it is. And it's in the whole world. And so the more we can get all the people, I call real American people, like even when Trump was running for office, they said, make America great again. I said, well, I always thought it was great. But anybody didn't want to make it great, I said, they got to be the enemy. I mean, who wouldn't want America
That's
great?
True.
For their kids.
But I bet we got a lot more enemies than so.
I mean, it's unreal, isn't it? So us real people, I call real people, and that's why they talk about all this new music, new country music. I said, I can't. They want me to switch, and I said, I can't switch. I've been singing, writing songs this way for all my life. If it don't tell a story or I don't touch somebody, what good is it? And I think it's, I look at my mother and father just like you did your brother and your mother and your dad. They've worked hard for this country and made this country what it is. So for this generation to want to throw it away is absurd to me. I just don't think that's going to happen. We got too many American people that's going to say enough's enough. We got to have a change of path. And they might tell you all these things are supposed to happen, but we still have our free will down here, And our free will is supposed to do the best we can to make this life down here better, not worse. So that's the way I look at it. So it's just a battle.
That's
so
true.
we get on the stage, we get on here, we talk, and then we'll get on stage and sing our songs and entertain the troops and our vets. And we keep getting it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. This will be awesome.
Well, Gary, do you want to talk a little bit, too, about the show and everything that's intel about the show in Florida?
Okay, well, thank you, Paige, and hello, Kathleen and Colonel Elvis.
Hi.
Well, good evening there, Gary.
I've just been sitting and listening, and it's great to hear from you guys again. Now, Kathleen and I have not actually met, but Elvis and I have, and we've worked some shows together and everything. And, he's also on President Trump's advisory team.
That's awesome.
And,
I get a lot of stuff. I get a lot of stuff from him. I got pictures and all kind of things, but I've been fighting like me and Gary had this conversation before, I really checked out Trump before he ran and when he was running. And a lot of people don't know that he graduated in military college in high of his class and highest rank. And
wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but they don't even want to know the good parts about the man. They just want to know they keep wanting to tell the bad stories. But I researched him, and I was a builder for 10 years, so I understand what it takes to be a builder. Not on his level, but I know what it is. And
well, you know,
so
also,
when you put that,
Elvis, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say also a thing that a lot of people don't know about President Trump is years before he ever got into politics, there was a troop of soldiers stranded in Iran because of a logistics error, and he sent his personal plane to pick them up and bring them back.
Yep, I
wow.
know that story. There's a lot of things he did personally to help a lot of people, they're not told. You know how the news is.
But anyway, we're supposed to be talking about the show tonight. We're supposed to be talking about the show tonight, and I know that you, Elvis, are going to be one of the performers. I think you're doing Lay Me Down Draped in Red, White, and Blue, and We Cried Together at the Wall. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe I might throw in Life out there somewhere. I don't know.
Well, that sounds good, too. I mean, whatever, you know, I just knew those two are the ones that's most publicized as far as you.
Well, they are. But, Mama's got it made working in heaven. But
okay.
It don't matter to me as long as I can. To me, Lay Me Down Draped in Red, White, and Blue. You can write all these songs and record them, and every once in a while you get a song that's really a lifetime meaningful song.
Well, now, besides you, I know we also have J.K. Coltrane, our friend who was going to come on tonight, but is in bed sick, I think, with a stomach virus or something. And he sounded really bad when I talked to him. So I told him I'd get Kathleen to take his place, and she just loves to. And Kathleen, tell us a little bit about Fire and Ice. They're also going to be there with you.
Yes. Well, I'm singing my single, The End of the World, which is a remake of Skeeter Davis's old song. And I'm Colt Records, Nashville. And that's doing very well, being sold on Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, YouTube. And let's see what else. Fire and Ice, that is our little band. We're a 4-piece band. We have an incredible drummer with a personality that just jumps out at you. And then we have our guitar player who is our tribute singer for John Anderson, the Seminole Wind. So he'll be doing that. And then Mr. Las Vegas, our lead singer, he's going to be doing a lot of Willie Nelson, some old country, new country, you know, a lot of things like that. So we'll have a lot of fun. We're going to have everybody come on stage. We're going to jam out, and it should be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Yes, we have quite a few. I believe it's a 7-hour show.
Yes.
And there's going to be several entertainers, some that I haven't even met. And, you know, I know a lot of people around here in the Nashville area. And I've done some stuff up in Indiana, things like that. But I haven't done a lot of traveling. I don't know a lot of them. I'll be looking forward to meeting some of them, though.
Yes, that'll be awesome. I cannot wait. Like I said, we have one guy, his name is Reginald Wrangler, and he does the Red, White, and Blue dedication to the veterans. So he's done a lot of videos and real cool stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, very positive, and everybody will just have a great time. And looking forward to seeing you, Gary, and Elvis, and it'll be a lot of fun. JK and just a lot of fun.
Just all the guys.
Yeah.
We used to have these shows down here in Lebanon before Ross Key passed, and he was such a great guy.
He was.
I had the privilege of presenting him with his Tennessee Colonel certificate, and his voice cracked with emotion. He had tears in his eyes. He said it was he thought more of that than any honor he had ever received.
I believe
I feel the same.
I know.
Yeah. Well, Elvis, I may have to make you an honorary Tennessean.
Well, I've attempted to move to Tennessee quite a few times, but you know, it's hard to make that jump.
I still may move up there in a couple of years.
I may too. I don't know, but I know, Gary, that you're involved in a lot of veterans issues and talking to a lot of great people about different things that need to be done. And
I served a term in the state senate. Thank you. I served an internship at the state senate when I went back to school to catch up on technology. And I was appointed to Senator Crow, the chairman of the Select Committee of Veteran Affairs, and got to help veterans all over the state. And that's what got me being a veteran advocate. I enjoyed what I was doing so much. I was made a Tennessee colonel in 2007. In 2008, I was appointed the Tennessee representative for the Vietnam Veteran Education Center in D.C. And they asked me to stay on and help them out, and I've been there 14 years now.
Wow.
Well, that's what I was telling Paige, that it's nice to work with people that's dedicated themselves to meet certain causes of things that's going on, especially in the veterans world. And things that need to be done, and it's good to be able to talk to people that's talking to people that actually can get something done. And
I had the privilege of introducing Colonel Courtney Rogers, Lieutenant Colonel Courtney Rogers, to legislature in 2008. I had seen her at a Capitol Hill Prayer Alliance meeting. Didn't even know who she was, but when I heard her American prayer, I had to compliment her on it. She said, I'd like to get it before the legislature, but I don't know how. So I got her before House and Senate. They asked her to run for office. I helped her get elected by going up and down the halls of the Legislative Plaza and reminding people they said they'd back her and would expect their support. She finished 3 terms with 97% of the votes and has just been appointed by our new governor as the head of Veteran Affairs in Tennessee.
Oh, that's great.
That is awesome.
And she is out there for the veterans.
Well, we just need a lot more like it.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Well, why don't y'all
Oh.
tell us what it takes to put together a show like this? Because it's not just going in here and throwing something together, you know. Tell us that part of how you all came together to do that.
Actually, I met Elvis through J.K. Coltrane, as I met Ross Key through him as well.
Exactly.
How I got into it, my friend Gary Gentry, a legendary Nashville writer, took me to a rope event one night in 2014. He told the people who I was and what I was doing from the stage, and at the break time, a man walked up I'd never seen before, handed me his card and said, J.K. Coltrane, anything I can do for the veterans, let me know. He has produced 3 CDs called Celebrate Our Veterans, with all the songs donated by Nashville recording artists and produced at cost by Colt Records. He has driven many miles to volunteer his time and talent every time I've had a show for the last 5 years, and never asked for any pay, and sometimes bring a busload and an RV load of entertainers with it.
Right. Well, Kathleen, aren't you partly over putting that together as well?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Bill Atkins and I have put together the entertainment, and of course there's going to be the veterans themselves and the band and Gary, and we just slapped it together basically, and 6 hours of solid entertainment. Now I just cannot wait. I mean, it's going to just be out of this world.
We also have a special guest there who I don't know yet if he's going to be doing anything or if he's just going to be there as a guest, but I found out that was within an hour where Randy Barlow lives, and so I invited him, and he just asked what time and where at.
Yes, Randy
so
said
looking
he's just
forward
going
to
to
having
be
Randy.
just coming in, and he's just going to be sitting down supporting us. So it's like, oh, God, how great.
Well, Randy, he's a nice person, too, him and his wife both.
Yeah.
And
yes,
I met them at the Josie Music Award in 2016. We're friends on Facebook. And he's always supported me, and I've always supported him, and he supports a lot of issues. And I know I'm glad he's coming down to support this event.
Yes.
And
well,
that's really great event.
If somebody recorded this show, maybe we could put it on our network and re-air it.
Actually, J.K. said he's going to videotape it.
Oh, I can't wait! Yes, that would be
I'm
awesome.
involved.
That would be another avenue, to get your music heard. So yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to video I've got some videos on YouTube and stuff that laid me down, but it's not what the kind of video I want to really put out, and that's what I'm working on now. And I'll probably have my camera and crew that we're going to be doing probably a segment for the video. And that should be, we're doing in the Josie Music Award this year in September. I'll be performing on stage there, lay me down. But we're going to have a veterans event in the middle of it. So I've been after her for 2 years to do that, and now she's come across to do that, and it's going to be a great event. So I wanted to tie what we're doing down there, Kathleen, tied to Lay Me Down video in order for it to maybe be aired. Of course, I have it up on YouTube like you would your show yourself. And the main reason for that, to me, is to broaden people's mind about veterans. You hear them all the time. And, we have people dying and buried in Arlington all the time. And some gets noticed, some don't. So we always try to do that to remind people that there's a war going on, and we lose people all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even in training. And when there's somebody's husband, son, wife, daughter that's fighting out there all the time. And these people need their support, and they also need to be taken care of and be thankful for their service when they return here. And that's why we have the Patriot Guard and all these other different organizations that do the things they do. And they need to be recognized for the things that they do good.
Yeah.
And same way I was talking about the VA.
Rolling Thunder as well.
Yes, I'm part of Rolling Thunders myself. I know Danny up there for a long, long time, and another the West Virginia and Virginia Rolling Thunder outfit. But we do that, and they call us the family. We usually hang out 20th in Constitution every year, Memorial Day, and we cook out and all that and discuss. And veterans that wants to go down to the wall, we take them down. So, and it's good to have a network and people talking about these issues, and also the good part of things. Like Kathleen's got the show going down. She performs all these areas where the veterans hang out all the time. So it's a great
all
thing.
the VFWs, all the American Legions, all the DAVs, and American veterans. And the band just has a blast. And they love it.
Okay,
when the veterans are saying thank you, that just makes you feel so good.
Right. Well, if you put together a promo, Kathleen, like a 60-second promo, I can play it on here too. We have our shows. And I'm talking about your show for March the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great, Paige. And that's another thing I want to tip my hat off to you for having us on your show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And how accepting you are in helping to put the word out there for veterans and the shows that we're doing and what we're involved in.
Well, we appreciate that. And like I told you earlier, anything we can do, if you need this network or anything, all you have to do is ask. So we are here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Paige, and for the times that I've co-hosted. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate it. And I believe I'll be back on March 9th with Monica Farrell.
Yay!
All right.
That's great.
Yep. So that too. I know we have a lot of artists, veteran artists So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
so cool.
There's a lot of veteran artists out there that you don't hear of, but they're out there. And
you were talking earlier about the various veteran organizations. There are 68,000 veterans organizations in the U.S., and if we can just get them to work together as a network in cooperation instead of competition, I think we can get a lot done.
Lord help. I know, right?
Well, we get a lot done because somehow or another, it kind of goes back to what I said to my pastor at Church of God one time when I was in it. I said, well, how come all y'all churches just don't get together with the same message? But there's too involved in their own world to hook up and tell the other people what's going on. Well, I feel that the same way with American Legion, VFWs, and other units, just name them two. Why don't y'all hook up, especially we got social media, I mean, why don't y'all hook up a top line to all the units and all the people across the United States? You know what kind of, just one charity drive, they gave $1. How much money would that be?
Right.
A lot.
Well, some of them, like you said, some of them do get so interested in their own stuff. I'm reminded of a time in Clarksville when I was running a veteran fundraiser, and a man from a local veteran organization that felt I was competing with them comes up and says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Running a fundraiser for our veterans." He said, "By what authority?" I said, "A 501c3 tax-exempt organization, a solicitation and gaming letter from the state solicitation and gaming office and permission from the owner." He said, "Well, I happen to be a legislative officer." I said, "I do too." He slammed his card down on the table. He slammed his card down on the table and said, gave me his name and said, "But you can call me Lieutenant." I said, "Okay, Lieutenant, I'm Colonel Gary Thomas, but you can call me Sir." Well, and I know what you're talking about, and I had to deal with that when I started fighting the VA here, and writing letters to the president and talking to him and all kinds of stuff, and until they realized every time they had trouble going on at the clinic or whatever, they were getting calls from White House, and they couldn't understand where it was coming from. They finally put it together. So now when I do just talk to them now, they kind of stand up and listen.
Change their tune, huh?
But it takes all of us doing that. And like you just mentioned, Gary, if all the organizations across here are supposed to be helping vets, even though we got a lot of illegal people using veteran things for scams that needs to be shown out in the public where people could sport and them kind of people. But if they were the main organizations, it does something. But if
Elvis, I know. I'm sorry to interrupt you there again. I'm reminded of again of Lieutenant Colonel Courtney Rogers. Even before she got interested in politics, when she heard about that D.C. Tea Party, she flew up there in uniform without an appointment and said, "I've got 38 years in this uniform, and I'm asking for 4 more minutes to fulfill my oath." She was the first speaker at the Washington, D.C. Tea Party. There was 20,000 people in there when she started speaking, and when she ended, they had to call state police because it was estimated 1.11 million trying to get in to hear her.
Wow.
That's the way it is. But they try to keep us silent.
I know.
Crazy.
Every time I do stuff like that, they try to keep me silent. But
let me say something. It's in everything, too. It's in the music industry, too. And I'm always saying, it's not a contest. We're all out here for the same reason. We should be sharing each other's information, liking our pages, and getting the word out. And I know people try to stop our music as well. We should be helping each other, and I just think that's the way it should be.
We all have a struggle in the music business. It don't matter what level you're in, or you're performing on stage, or you're recording, or writing, or whatever. But
that's right.
I have a page, and I went to the artist page, and everything is about that artist. There's nothing about nobody else. Well, my page has got everybody you can think of on it. About 4,900 of them. And
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
To me, I wanted to open up where you can, when something is posted, it rebel to anybody. Everybody gets to hear it. And that's where you sort out these things. And like Gary said, if we had a network, and I guess Pages invite us to do this year, and it's great when I get this video done, we can come back and do another interview when the progress has been taking place in these areas. And I'd like to have some good reports for a change. I've heard so many bad. I'd like to hear. That's one reason I wanted the canister things for the vets out in Branson, out of Springfield, and their homeless vets. I wanted to empty it, and so far I think Bob's got somebody that's donating 70 acres of land. But it takes money to do all that, so you really got to get it out there where people will know what you're trying to do, and in order to get the money or grant or whatever to help these people. You know, if the government can give $150 million or what they did to Iran, and then worry about Trump's wall, I said, you know, they waste more money today with this crazy stuff that went on today that I could probably have built the wall, you know? And so it don't make no sense. They're trying to run this brainwash stuff down, and half of that stuff is something's water under the bridge anyhow. It don't matter. You can't go back and change it. And people's got to come to realization, I don't know how anybody can call themselves a Christian if they don't support the leader of the country, which the Bible requires you to do.
Exactly.
It don't matter who's in office. It's a lot to get in office, and I'm sure if God didn't want him in office, he wouldn't be in office. It's a reason and purpose for all of it.
But if people would look back over the course of the years, the same things that's happened in this office has happened in other offices, whether it be Democrat or Republican. Y'all.
Exactly.
Get on the same thing.
I was noticing that Mr. Trump has just sold rice to China.
Really?
Yeah.
I got that all wrong, didn't I?
No, it's actually it's the first time that China has ever imported rice from the U.S., and President Trump closed the deal.
All right.
I said next is ice to Eskimos, I guess, you know.
Well, they always said don't get politics mixed up with music, but the thing of it is when you're a vet and your family of vets or whatever, and then you can't help it. Family chief and what's going on, it's kind of hard to help it. And with the atmosphere as went on in this past election and Trump's administration, it is hard to keep not being involved in politics. But I said, you know what? They talk about the same thing with the Bible. You know, if nobody talks about it, I guess it's dead. You know, faith without works is dead. So I guess that's where that comes from. So it's the same thing. I think everybody should have some sense of what the Bible is, what this country is founded on. And I think everybody ought to know what's going on in politics where they can make the right decision.
Well, you can read the Bible all day long, but reading and doing two different things, right?
Exactly. Right. I mean, a lot of people go sit in the church and ask for this and ask for that, but as soon as they get out of the church, they just go the same way they've been going. So I look at churches this way, and it's good for people to assemble. But I remember him getting very mad about people having stuff at his church, you know, selling and money changing and stuff like that. So, you know, I look at a building that they have in the yard sale. I don't think that's a church. That's a yard sale.
Right.
So if Jesus got mad at him, that's when he was walking here. I mean, he's out of his mouth, not out of somebody else. That he, you know, called him a fox and he's mad and crap. So what would be the difference now and then? You know, he's the same yesterday as today and tomorrow. So
exactly.
So I look at churches this, and I tell people this, and if you read the latter part of this world, he's coming back to the church is not made by man's hands. It's not a building. It's these churches in us. It's in our heart, in our mind, individually, every walking person. And so when you read the Bible, he's talking to you. He ain't talking about somebody else. He's talking to you. You pick up a Bible and you read it, it's to you. It's not these other people. It's the direction he's giving you. Now, a lot of you read you don't like, but it's a fact.
Right.
It's the truth. And so that's like our kids when we spanked their tail a long time ago. They didn't like it either, but they raised up good kids. And there's a difference between discipline and abuse, too. Different ways. Different ways. Well, we'll get back to music, I guess, Paige.
Yeah. Well, we only have like a few minutes left. Why don't we, do y'all have any closing thoughts maybe that you want to give our listeners?
Well, I'd like to invite everybody out for the Veterans Concert. It's going to be at the American Legion, Post 110 in Port Charlotte, Florida. And hopefully we can see everybody out there and support our veterans and make it just awesome.
Well, you know my motto, don't give a vet a hand out, give him a hand up.
Right.
Yes. That's it.
And so anything we can do to help vets, I'm all for it. And
me too.
And I know Gary is too. And I'm looking forward to you down there having a good time with the vets.
Yes.
And Paige, I really appreciate the honor to be on your show.
And thank you so much, Paige.
Mm-hmm.
And
we
try to
I'd like to thank you as well,
Paige.
Paige.
That's more or less dedicated to Vietnam vets, but it is all them walls up there. If you ever visit World War I Cemetery, which a lot of people don't even know where it's at, it's over very close to and the Korean wall and monuments in the Vietnam Vet Wall, and I know they're still trying to do the Afghanistan and Desert Storm and all that, but Iraq, which I have a song called Iraqi Blues too, but they're going to be wanting help to build them a dedication of their war and the war they fought.
I have a question, Elvis. I have a question for you, Elvis.
Okay.
You mentioned you like to go Memorial Day to the wall. Do you perform there?
I've done the 20th and 25th anniversary there and performed all day, and my wife read names. Jim Knox is over that now. Jan Scruggy retired. And you can't perform at the wall. You can perform on the hill, and you can because that is sacred ground when nothing like that takes place. And you can go to the back of it and do things, but you can't do it at the wall.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. Now, when I've done the poem year with the wall and with Rolling Thunder and all that was involved, it was a portrait dedication thing. Now, we was all lined up in front of the wall and took a picture. But we didn't perform it. We performed over at the Lincoln Memorial.
Okay.
So the first, let's see, the Vietnam Vets of America was usually up on the hill, and it was our first empty monuments by the White House. So this year's kind of sticky because they kind of want me in Branson on Memorial Day and Washington, D.C. at the same time. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
That's hard to do.
So I've never tried. My wife, she's mother-in-law, lives in Bethesda, Maryland, outside of D.C. So she goes up and we stay at her mom's, and I go downtown. So, and I have a lot of vets that used to come there. A lot of them's not able to go anymore. A lot of them's done passed away. And but I'm gonna be with some vet friends of mine down in Fort Myers, and that's lives down there. And
now,
I
Elvis,
performed
did you know that we have a replica of the Vietnam Wall in Punta Gorda? Did you know that?
It's coming down, right? Or do y'all just have one?
Oh,
no,
well, they're going to be
one.
dedicating it next year.
But we do have
one. We were wanting to do that dedication on March 30th, but another group was there, had a big event going right there at it, so they had to delay it till next year. But yes, I go to the Vietnam Veteran Wall in Florida now.
Yeah. Well, I used to do the POWMIA ceremonies, and I always do the wall there. I done the one in Clarksville, that homecoming they had there a couple of years ago with Lee Greenwood. And but when they do dedicate it, I always try to make plans to do one of them dedications. Cause I always do. We cry together at the wall, especially in the replica wall or any monument. And I've done a bunch of them out here at Lake Oconee. Back when we cried together, at the wall was out when they dedicated a monument out there at Lake Oconee back some time ago. But so I try to do those.
You mentioned the dedication there. Now that brings up my friend Walt Peters, and you probably know of him. For 50 years, he was a director and producer of the CMAs and the Grand Ole Opry, and he went blind from Agent Orange diabetes, and now he represents Blind Veterans of America. He just can't keep a good vet down.
That's right. We still got plenty in us till we leave here.
Right. Well, I tell you what, though, Walt impressed me. I had the privilege of getting him before the Veteran Caucus to present the Braille flag that's out of Kansas. And every legislator there bought a small one for their office, and they rolled it to a resolution to put one before every Tennessee state office building. And now, thanks to Walt Peters, there's one also in the White House. And he's traveling other states now, putting them up in front of other state offices.
Wow.
Well, that's a big accomplishment, I agree.
It is.
It is, especially for a man in his 70s. He makes every dedication in uniform. And it's just, I really appreciate him.
Awesome. Well, y'all, we only got like a few more minutes. Do you want to talk about, I know we'll have one more song of yours, and that's Down by the River.
Well, I didn't know if you had time to play another song or not.
I got time to play it.
What you're talking about, We Cry Together at the Wall. We can play We Cry Together at the Wall, since we're talking much about the wall.
Yeah.
And it is a dedication to the Vietnam vets that's lost their lives over there and here too. And there's a lot of them. And a lot of them now we at the age now we can't get around like we used to, and can't do this, can't do that. But we still have the spirit of American soldier, and that's where we are. We always will be, and so the fight goes on.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I want to thank you again, Elvis, for taking time out to come on and talk to us about your music and our veterans. And like I said, anytime you need us, we are here. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Paige, for what you're doing, which is pretty awesome.
Well, we appreciate it. And like I said, I just think it's horrible the way that our government is treating our veterans. And, most all families have a veteran in it, right? I would think most everybody.
Well, the main thing is people understanding and knowing, like Gary was talking, and due to your show and other shows that I do, or just about every interview I've done on every radio show, even with Jody and whatever, it's all about vets and what I'm trying to do for vets. And this album here is all dedicated to the men and women that fought for this country. And it's that simple. And so that's what we try to do.
Well, let's go out with Down by the River. And I want to thank y'all again for taking time out and coming on and talking to us about your show and about our vets and your music, Elvis. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. And, Down by the River is another one.
Thank you so much, too.
I ain't had it right.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, and thank you, Paige and Kathleen, Elvis. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Exactly. And I'll see y'all soon.
Well, we'll
okay,
do it. We'll do it again. We'll do it again, and I'll talk to you later, Kathleen.
Thank you so much again, and you have a good evening. Thank you.
All right, y'all too, and let's go out. We won't be back here until March the 6th, y'all. So, yeah.
Okay.
Same time, same place. 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a great weekend. And
thank you.
See y'all later. Thank y'all again.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hey, viewers, have a blessed evening.
No, thank you, Elvis. So let's go out. We're here down by the river. So we'll see everybody out on Facebook, I guess.
Okay, we'll be in the social world.
Yep, that's it.
Good
All right,
night.
here we go, y'all. Bye, y'all. Good night.
Bye.
Coffee's killing my body, drinking's killing my soul. By the misery that won't lay on me, you know I'm bound to go. Down by the river bank where old Hank used to go, where he wrote his song, "Your cheating heart ain't nobody knows." Down by the river where old Hank used to go, where he sang the blues for me and you a long, long time ago. Down by the river where old Hank used to go, where he wrote his song, "Your cheating heart ain't nobody knows." Well, the shades of them old trees sure look good to me, and watching that rolling river rock and rid a man of his misery. I got my long, long lonesome blues. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Go down by the bank, Lord, I can't keep it down by the river, where Hank used to go, where he sang the blues, me and you, a long, long time ago. Down by the river, where Hank used to go, where he wrote his song, "Your cheating heart and nobody knows." Down by the river, where Hank used to go, where he sang the blues, me and you, a long, long time ago. Down by the river, where Hank used to go, where he wrote his song, "Your cheating heart and nobody knows." Remember the men and women that put their lives on the line, veterans that fought and lived through those wounds. Every soldier has a story, a life like no other. Veterans that fought for me and you under the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, lower me down, draped in the red, white, and blue. From the trenches of World War I, crossed the Rhine in World War II, Normandy beaches of Omaha, the cold Korean War, they have long forgotten, to the hot Saigon, rice paddies of Vietnam. She was raised at Hiroshima, on the beaches in those high seas. She flew at Pearl and Midway, planes that flew the sky, on the ships of those high seas, to the mountains of Afghanistan, the desert Iraq, the Black Hawk Down, under the red, white, and blue. lay me down, lay me down, lower me down, draped in the red, white, and blue. When they play those taps, shoot those guns, that salute the 21. I'll go down, draped in the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, lower me down, draped in the red, white, and blue. Lay me down, lay me down, lower me down, draped in the red, white, and blue.
Hi, folks. This is Mark Wilmot, singer-songwriter of the Redstone Ramblers, owner of Trademark Instrument Repair, and proud supporter of the Paige Roberts Show on Intercomm Radio. Do you want that old acoustic to play like butter again? You want to get that Strat you got from your dad hot-rodded? Or maybe you want to put a pickup in your banjo? You can contact me for all your TLC. I'll be there for your instrument when it needs me. You can check me out at Trademark Instrument Repair on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and remember, support your local songwriter.
Hi, this is John Krause, and you're listening to The Paige Roberts Show on Intercomm Radio Network.